So I'm here with Brett Fitzgerald from the Game Fish and Snook Foundation, and today we're going to do a little presentation. We're going to have a little experiment, per se, on metals and see what the salt water does. So this is taken out of my shrimp tank here in the shop, so it's pure salt water. And every week we're going to show you, we're going to display these metals and see what they've done underwater in a weekly process, week by week, and then until we come up with a scenario. So this right here, we have lead. We're going to use a lead sinker. We're going to put it in salt water just like that. You can see the water's clear now, so it's curious to see how the water changes in time. This one's stainless steel. We use a stainless steel hook on that one. We have a galvanized hook on this one. And of course we have aluminum ring on this one here. And real briefly, I want to get your opinion on what you think is going to happen here.
Well, so this is salt water, right?
It's salt water.
So we know that salt water is much more corrosive than fresh. And all of these are touted to be pretty sturdy. So I think that we're doing this for a month.
It might even take longer. We can do it on a weekly basis. We'll see where we go from it. If we get to the point where, hey, listen, this is, I think we've done enough experiments on it, but we're going to leave the same water in there, the same metal in there, and each week we'll pull out the metals to see what it actually did to the metal, and we'll actually see the color differential in the water and see what it does to the water.
Gotcha. Well, my prediction is that the galvanized is the one that's going to show the most wear the soonest. And I don't think we'll see anything in the water, maybe some stuff on the bottom across the board.
Do you think it's still going to be clear next week?
So, what do you think?
We'll find out. I don't know for sure, but we'll definitely, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So stay tuned next week and see what our results on a weekly basis on this test that we're doing. So Mike, this weekend we had horrible weather to go fishing, so I mean we didn't get really good reports, and the only people that did go out were only the people that went out of Palm Beach Inlet. The waves were so bad in Boca, Boynton, Hillsborough, all down up and down the coast where you almost inevitably could not get out. Even Jupiter was bad, and Palm Beach seemed to be the only inlet where you can go out there and go fishing.
Well, let's explain why that is, because some people may not understand. What happens is Palm Beach Inlet is very deep. And so the big waves don't have a chance to actually become breaking waves or they're just rollers, What happens is in Boynton, Jupiter, Boynton, Boca, Hillsborough, they're much shallower inlets. So what happens is when the rollers get into the shallower water, they build and they become like breaking type waves, which is extremely dangerous. And you need a huge boat, or you need to be timing it perfectly, which is almost impossible over the weekend.
Over the past weekend, yeah.
Prior to the weekend, though, fishing was extremely slow. It was the full moon. Mm-hmm. The full moon made it very difficult for fishing. For fishing pelagics and stuff. The key is for the full moon, the fish eat all night, they get full and stuff. But what happens also is the bottom fishing was actually very, very good.
Well, I think the reason why it was good because we had that swell and it started stirring up the bottom a little bit. The fish were a little bit more reluctant to bite whatever they can get on. Instead of feed as a predator, they were probably more of a opportunist, per se, to feed on everything they could find. Because when that water gets stirred up, they can't be the predator. They got to be an opportunist. That's
right.
My opinion.
No, and also with the full moon and the extreme tides we had, because we did have some pretty extreme tides. When that water's flushing out on the outgoing tide, all those fish are sitting there feeding. And same thing on the incoming tide with the inshore. So it makes it creates a feeding frenzy as well. But that said, finally some people are able to start going out again, and the fishing is starting to pick up a little bit. There's been some sailfish being caught. There's been a few cobia here and there. Some pompano here and there, but
the dolphin is the hot fish.
Yeah,
because it is getting to that time of year. We have 2 months of this dolphin season that we like to call, March, April, and a little bit in May is not bad either. And once it peaks probably around the end of April, beginning of May, and then it starts to simmer down, per se. But dolphin is the hot fish. A lot of people did go out off Palm Beach, and they tore up the dolphin, catching what they wanted, almost limited out anybody who went out there. So there was a lot of dolphin being caught. Again, not a lot of people were out there, Only the people who have had the cojones, per se, to go out there. But nevertheless, dolphin was a hot fish.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so there's different times of the year for different, kinds of fish, and dolphin will probably be good all summer long, I hope. But this time of the year, the spring, when we're getting into spring, like the April, give or take, a couple here and there, you get the bigger sized dolphin that are going to start coming through. They have not gotten here yet, but there's going to be a week or two where everybody's getting really nice sized dolphin. Usually around April every year we get that.
And remember, anybody can catch dolphin, even Mike here.
Yep.
He's caught in dolphin before I've seen it. So it's proof that anybody can catch dolphin.
Hey, listen, Andy caught his first dolphin of the year last year on my boat, almost at the end of the year. but no, just we like to bust each other's balls about that. But yeah, dolphin, they grow fast. They eat a lot because they grow up to 20 pounds in 1 year, so they eat everything they see. So generally, they are usually easier to catch. But you've been there where there's been a school of dolphin under the boat. They won't eat anything.
Right.
That's tough. Even the best anglers can't
usually
sometimes get them to eat.
You actually want to get something really small and ready on the line, and you almost gotta be fairly small because again they're probably most likely they're full. And you jig that little tiny jig or shrimp or whatever you got, and you got to work it hard. You got to entice those fish to come and eat it. It's very difficult, and there's no guarantee. And if there's no male around, if the bull's not around, it's a proven fact that the fish will actually, you're almost inevitably not going to catch one.
Right. Let's go ahead and maybe show a little thing that we can use when they aren't eating like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
When there's a school of fish that you just can't get to eat anything. We'll show you little tricks that we use sometimes to try and get them to start eating.
Okay, let's show that rig right now, Mike.
All right. Welcome to the X Generation Fishing Report, Rig of the Week. This week, dolphin is the hot fish. As you heard before, we are trying to show you some specialized rigs for getting these dolphin to eat when they're being real picky. All right. So if you are trolling. We do suggest you go ahead and scale down your tackle a little bit. What we have here is a little squid type jig, on a fluorocarbon leader, okay? And this is just something to get them to start eating, okay? It's tiny. You're more or less getting their attention with this, and it's like a little snack for them. We do recommend trolling these. Anywhere from way back all the way into your prop wash. I've caught some nice dolphin on these, okay? Next thing is I like to have a spinner rigged with something very tiny, again, this is more of a reaction bite, okay? They'll start chasing it and they may hit it just as a reaction because it's driving them nuts. Little flashers on the jig never hurt. And again, something similar, it doesn't have to be exact. They have all kind of colors, flashers, tiny stuff. I do recommend scaling your tackle way back to light tackle, and I also recommend using fluorocarbon leaders with this. I like to put this on a spinning rod so you can cast out to the dolphin and bring it right through the school, and sometimes you will get one to eat. Another thing is too, if you're specifically going for dolphin, if it's hot and it's the time of the year where they're not biting so much, live shrimp will sometimes get the fish going. That never hurts. Also some chum. If you put some chum out and some glass minnows to toss out here and there, that also helps too. Those are all, nothing. It's very hard to get them to eat. Nothing is a sure thing, but those are all methods we have used successfully in the past to get the school to start eating again. And again, this is your X Generation Fishing Report, Rig of the Week.
Weather and predictions for this weekend. Mike, what do we have for the weather?
The beginning of the weekend, it's going to be southeast winds around 10 knots, 2 to 4 feet. In the Gulf Stream, they're saying about 5 feet. And then Sunday, it's going to switch around to southwest winds, 15 to 20, and it's going to be 4 to 6 feet.
Is it going to be ground swells or is it going to be rough? I mean, like choppy?
So because it's going to be southwest, I believe it is going to be more of a swell on the southwest. So going out of Boynton, Jupiter, Boca, Hillsborough, you want to be careful with those swells. if you can, sit there, watch them, see if the waves are breaking, you know, it's got to be timed right and all that. Saturday's definitely the best day out of all of them.
Well, that's good. It's fine when we get a good day.
That's right. At least on a weekend day, you know. So, Andy, what are your predictions for this weekend?
Predictions. I'm going to go after that dolphin if I was to go out there, which I won't be able to, but unfortunately. But if I was to target a species, dolphin would be my species to be targeting. Also, keep in mind the bottom fishing is going to be really good with the way the bottom is all stirred up. I think the bottom fishing is going to be another topic to talk about next week.
That's right.
What do you think?
I have a tournament this weekend, so I'm going to be targeting kingfish. You know, kingfish has been a little bit tough to target, although they have been caught. You know, they're year-round. But I'm with Andy. If I was not fishing this tournament, I would be doing a little bit of bottom fishing. That's what I would be doing. You know, bottom fishing is fun. You know, and you catch a blue runner or something you could put out as a live bait, usually a blue runner. You know, you put that out and you can catch something else, you know, a wahoo, a kingfish, whatever. So
And keep in mind that I know after a swell like this, the pompano fishing gets really good, although they're hard to find, but when you do find them, the pompano fishing gets really good, and permit fishing as well. So keep that in mind if you're a beach fisherman. Look for targeting those species. As far as snook, they've been catching the snook, and we haven't had that cold. You know, it's getting warmer, so the snook are starting to show up. Or not necessarily show up, but they're being a little bit more aggressive when it comes to feeding. So
yeah,
keep that in mind. Snook fishing would be a good target species if you're doing the inside job there. And as far as I'm concerned, bottom fishing and dolphin fishing.
There you go.
So anyway, we're gonna name this. We have this segment called Name the Species of the Week. It's a $25 gift certificate to xgeneration. You must email us, and you must be the first person with the correct answer to email us this at xgeneration@gmail.com.
Xgen fishing.
I'm sorry, xgenfishing@gmail.com.
I don't know why we're getting it wrong. But anyway, xgenfishing@gmail.com.
And here's the species right here, guys. If you can name this species right here, okay, you'll get that 25. And you must be the first one to email us. And you have to watch next show to see if you are the winner. And if you do email us this species correctly, shark, you will get that $25 gift certificate to X Generation.
Yeah, you must be very specific with what type it is. So that's
it's got to be. Yeah.
And you have to check your email to see if you are the winner. We're not. I'm sorry. When you email us, you have to watch the show next week to find out if you are the winner, because we will not be emailing you back. You do, you know, there's a little caveat there. You do have to watch the show to find out if you are the winner.
Okay. And again, if it doesn't, nobody answers it correctly, we roll it over and the stakes get higher. So keep that in mind.
That's right.
We like to thank our sponsors.
We'd like to thank our sponsors: X Generation, WRPBI TV, JCam Lures, Silver Lining Charters with Captain Danny Barrow, and Exit Realty with Devin. Contact Devin for all your real estate needs.
We'd like to thank you for watching our show, and see you next week, and support your local tackle stores.